She's 22 feet, guys. 22 feet. I think 10 inches, probably maybe about 8 inches now, but I did that. Let's hope this thing doesn't bend when we get some time this week. We have to attach all this stuff. I just put it on there today. You guys know what that is. But I hope this part does not bend. So I have a backup plan in case. Because I might have to buy one of those big pole things, but let's hope it gets it. This is 22 feet. Because usually it's 10 inches on the top. Usually about that. Probably about maybe about 9, around 9. Could be 10.5 inches or 9 inches there. 9.5 inches, but it's no big deal. It'll be almost the same height as the Mako V5000. Just give you guys an update. I just attached this earlier today. We finally had rain this morning, but you guys see on the barrel. So, you guys see all my gardens bed I just showed you. I just didn't do that last weekend. So they're all ready to go. We're supposed to get a greenhouse real soon, like I told you how it's going to be. It's going to have the hydroponic system either way on it. And that's what I'm saying, the hydroponic system. And my mom just ordered a hydroponic system just the other day. So it should be good soon, but you can't put a hydroponic system in this cold weather. You have to wait till when it warms up, but the greenhouse is going to grow all the food. You have to understand about these grocery stores, you put a lot of crap stuff in. You guys know this. About local grocery stores here, maybe about a couple of weeks ago, we saw lettuce was black at my local store here. The other ones have differently, but and trying to get some of that food bill down to what we can do, but growing it be easy to do it and tastes better and stuff, believe me. And then they had recalled like the carrot thing would happen, like the carrots and stuff. I think people need to start growing their own food now, but you can always do things with it pretty cool. So I'm going to show you the Cereal SY27. So let's hope this thing clears the tree. That's what I'm looking at right here. I'm worried about this right here. But it should be able to, I think it should be able to clear it at this right here. I'll give you an idea of it. Somebody's working on something. So it's kind of cold today outside. It's just kind of moisture cold. It's kind of different where you guys live from different parts of the world. Utah is a dry cold. They're actually out there all day in the spring months because it is a very different kind of cold. This is like when it blows off the plateaus here. You guys can see it there, and they usually put a Christmas star on the mountain every year in my local area. You can actually see it all over town, all over the whole place. Yeah, you'll see a Christmas star on the plateau. You actually see it all over the place. You should be able to see it all over every area it is. But yeah. There we go. I'm going to back it up and show you guys in a minute. So yeah, we got our UDX stickers on those things, but I wanted to get the Anytone Quad 6, but if we don't have a problem bending this pole, we don't do that, we don't bend it, I hope it does not bend. It's actually a 3-foot pole, you guys. You see that on the top, it's 3 foot. You guys know what that is. There we go. I'm figuring out this phone because this thing's kind of different. I put a new screen on it. You guys know what it is. So far the screen's been doing wonderful for me. It's been great. That's why I put frog tape on those things so your addresses don't show on those stupid things. You recommend for all you package people, like, make sure you put frog tape on it, on your things. And this is what I'm trying to show you right here. I'm worried about that. Clearing that tree. I had to trim it cut back in August, in September when I did that. In October. This is what he's going to lift up. So I'm just saying, yeah. Looks like Jungle Joe's doing some updates right now. I can see it on this video. I was surprised to get the Wi-Fi out here. I'm amazed this thing gets the Wi-Fi out here either way. That's cool. Maybe this is something good that came out of one of those things, because if you get a lot of tin foil, you could actually put it all over your house or something like that, or do something like that. Your Wi-Fi signal will get out with your tin foil. You guys know that. So it looks pretty cool. You guys can see the antenna. I'm going to give you a look at it. Give you a glimpse of it, what you think it is. Let's give it a zoom. There we go. So I give you guys a glimpse, because what we have to do today, we need to wait till the weather warms up. You gotta make sure all this rain's dry. You don't want to raise it up when it's too windy. But it's actually gonna be okay. See where I had the tire wrapped at? I'm gonna eat some turkey dinner today. We're smoking all that stuff. Because my sister actually knows how to do all that. It actually got Bluetooth and everything. This is a smoker my dad used to have. It's my dad's smoker. My sister knows how to use it. She has an app that does on the device that does it. You can look at all that, and it does that. At least she knows how to cook and stuff. Most today's girls probably don't know how to do their own turkeys and smoke them. Some women know how to cook, some don't. So my sister was raised on a farm. That's why. That's why she learned it a long time ago when it happened. So my dad taught her all that stuff because, and mostly she went to those local schools in Utah world. And mostly, I know Wagamaster and I don't like these things, but I'll tell you about that. To 390 out there. My sister went to FFA and stuff. The school she went to. But the schools in the valleys, what she used to do, I'll tell you guys about it. She was bullied, but she was in the country schools in North Florida a long time ago. And she didn't went into those city schools like Miami and South Florida and Hollywood. And they didn't turn out like those people what they are right now. So my parents did it a long time ago to get away from the area. But what I went through a long time ago, you guys know about that stuff a little bit. I told you in chats. Because that's why the way people turn out the way they are. Because think about it. You guys remember all the 90s stuff. Because there's good schools and there's bad schools and there's always kinds of. Mostly, everybody knows that crap. Well, let's hope our society starts restoring back soon, okay? That'd be quite cool, but this is great. But my sister went to the country schools, and the ones in Utah, she was bullied in the valleys, down below. Then after my parents found that house, like I told you guys, you've seen, and she went to one of those nice schools, but they were all Mormons and non-Mormons. This was a school that had a college type way, and it had a fallout shelter. You can go there anytime in case things went wrong. Well, yeah, they have fallout shelters all over the whole state of Utah. I don't know in Tennessee. Tennessee needs to start doing something like what Utah does in other states. Every school system should have a fallout shelter in the world, no matter what it is. But hurricanes, tornadoes, you name it. And if you get like a big bad storm, tornado, you can be under the ground. But the problem with Oklahoma and the Midwest, if I was those farmers, they should make all their houses underground. Why can't they start doing that right now? But they can do that to give them some ideas. But there's gotta be a way to make a house is category 5 proof that doesn't get destroyed every year and smashed every year and get flooded every year. Think about it. Here we're gonna get tired of that crap real soon. Going through those big hurricanes in Florida, and then everybody's gonna move in their position. It's gonna get kind of old for some people. Some people might like it, but it's cool. You can handle the hurricanes, you know how to do it. But it's pretty stupid, I have to say something. And YouTube can understand it all, because why you buy all these wood from Home Depot, build your houses with it, then every few years it gets destroyed by a tornado or a hurricane. Think about it. It looks like a Home Depot lumber yard. When you see those photos of the disaster things. I'm not kidding. Take a look at it when you see like, it looks like a bunch of lumberyard stuff from Home Depot. Like, it's like the same wood I've seen a long time ago when they show all the categories of hurricanes. I used to go to a lot of Home Depot places a long time ago. And they showed all the things, what house takes on that. I don't know. So this is cool. I had to put little frog tape so this guy, I had to mark that. So sorry about that, but also I'm glad Dirty Diaper did a great show last night. I'm glad you put it out there. You guys keep me busy all the time. You're great. You're wonderful guys out there. For all the UDX members out there. Let's hope this thing comes up. I hope it does not have like, I know a backup plan. I have to probably get one of those poles. I don't want to do that yet, because this is all Lowe's type material. Everything is from Lowe's, and the one on the top. Because I switched that pole out. Like when I cut this guy off, this is the one that attached the thing here. This one I did not cut off here, but this is the short pole version. The long pole version you see right here is the one I made that contact with 2112 with this guy here. That's the one. I didn't want to cut this in case I want to use it for something later on. Think about it. This is the one I had back in Utah. This is like, they're mostly electric outlet type things, and most of it's from home closet stuff and all that. But I hope this doesn't bend down like that and it pops it up like that. That's what I'm talking about. That's what happened the last time when I extended to it. It's only 1 foot in this guy here, but the rest are 5. This one's actually 5 foot inside. This has never been at all. This part I'm worried about, but it's more lighter on this end to the top. It's more heavy on the side. This is a little bit quite heavy on both sides. These weigh 13 pounds. But I just hope it does not bend to the ground like that when you crank it up like this when it bends on both sides. But I don't know. This is plumber's pipe I got, and you guys know where I got it at. Because I wanted to have better quality pipe, so a lot of those guys I've seen pictures of their antenna masses gets bend crap from thunderstorms and all that stuff, and it breaks off during ice storms. That's why I picked this. It's the same height as the one on the Mako V5000. The only with the Mako V5000 I did a while back, last year, I had to I didn't have to use a chain to crank it up. I just mostly put it on the side of the roof thing. Then I grabbed the Mako V5000, and when I lowered down that piece of wood, you guys see that 2x4 I have? I still have it. That's the wood I use for holding those bolt things like these here, so they don't collapse down the antenna, breaking the ratios. So that's what I did. Then when I did all that stuff attaching it, once in a while you detach the ratios, once in a while, not all the time. It's been doing good, but also I want to upgrade the coax to that Mako V5000. It would be nice. And I got that Alpha Delta. You guys seen that little Alpha Delta, the one that goes to the ground rod? And also I still have that copper ground rod you guys seen. If we could know how we ground it, that'd be good. But it's pretty good, but I just hope we don't have a bending issue, okay? That's what we're worried about right now. I'm concerned about this. But at 22 feet should not do any problem at that. It's a lot lower, you guys know that. And that one is about, I'll show you in a second. This is 3 foot long. So I just want to give you guys an update on Thanksgiving Day. I haven't done a video for a while, for almost a couple of weeks. And this is about 3 foot long. And on the top it's about 22 feet 10 inches to the top. This should be like around 22 feet, around 9 inches. This is why, because of the weight. But they had this pole thing I've seen on Amazon I was looking at. They make 40 foot pole. It's a little light, but you could put it on something like this. Instead you stretch up by hand by putting these pin things in, and that's what they do. That's what my first space station antenna was, something like that, and had its own rings on it. This one actually has rings I've seen, but I don't know if it will actually handle this weight. But we'll see what happens when we get all this stuff attaching. I haven't raised it up yet, and there's ways you can do it. I have top ropes can pull this. We could pull it that way. Mostly I probably have to lift this up or crank it up, see what it does. And it shouldn't have a problem at that kind of weight, because this is 10-foot pole right here, and this is a 10-foot pole, but you never had to cut that off with the part. This one is the one that bend this piece here, and I cut it off with about 1 foot, and it's about 9 foot for this guy, or 8 foot, and it was 8 to 9 foot, and I put it about 5 feet inside of this thing, 5 foot in that one, and it's 5 foot right down where that little mark is, where the meal tape is. And this thing has no problems. It's never bent anything. And the last time I tried to lift it up before, it did not bend that pole down there. It held the weight no problem. That's the weight goes down the bottom. But this is 13 pounds. I hope it's not even out like this when it's like that. So I'm worried about that. That's my concern right now. Let's hope it does not bend that bad. But it shouldn't do, because these are 1-inch pipes, and I put this on here, the rotor. I did this yesterday, duct tape it. You know why I duct tape this? So I keep this so the bolts don't rust at all, and I make it last longer. So this is what I'm concerned about right now because of this. I'm worried about that. It's only 1 foot in here with these 3 bolts. That's what it is. And this is what I'm worried about weight. But it should be okay when it lifts up because the antenna is light. I can lift it by hand. Because when I had that pole, when I lifted put it on the tripod a while back, I had problems with lifting it up by myself with it. And I grabbed it like holding like a flagpole and I got it in there. That's the original pole, but I'm not going to throw that out. I'm not going to cut anything. But that's its original pole I had made. So we might try to attach this thing. I already got it attached to it right here. We got the ropes here. We could probably use this. And that's a backup plan. But we need to figure this out, see what it does. Let's hope it doesn't snap like this when this thing pulls up. Like, that's what I'm worried, concerned about right now. And that's the only thing I'm more worried about right now. Because this, what I have to do with this guy here, we have to do like the last time, stretch like a hook and get it down to here. That's what I'm going to do. So I just want to give you guys an update on the antenna today. Let's hope things I wanted to go plan. I have to bring out my 8-foot ladder later when I get some time. The 8-foot ladder will be able to help me out if I want to jack it up a little bit higher. That will keep the less bending on it. Because if you get an 8-foot and put it on the 8-foot ladder, it should be okay with that. It'll give me a little room to get it up that high. It'll actually get me up like, when it gets like 9 foot, 10 foot in the air, it should be almost halfway like that up to here. Then when it gets up that, it'll be able to be okay. It's weight and factor I'm worried about right now. Most guys will just take this pole and put the pole in the middle and lower it down, then raise it up. So I'm saying that's the only thing I'm concerned about right now. So let's see what happens during this week. And I have another backup plan in case this doesn't work out. I'm deciding the Quad 6 or that pole. I wanted to get the Quad 6 so bad so we can get all over the world with it. You know, I can go take it all over my whole area, do some videos of it, and do live stream my video and we could talk at the same time. That'd be quite cool. Because I need like another export radio, a second one for a backup. The Quad 5 is still great. So I can actually hear myself out there when I sound like on the air and hear it from my Beam or my Mako. So I'll catch you guys later. Have a great week. Happy Thanksgiving to all you guys out there. Don't forget to check out 390 Wagmaster on YouTube. And don't forget to check out Old Radio Night on YouTube this Saturday night. And don't forget to check out Old 2 Radio Network comes on Saturday night. Maybe you guys could donate me one of those brown and golden eagles out there. Or a robin. I want something with the sideband so I can get it all over the world with 2 radios. It'd be quite cool. Sideband's my thing, and AM, I like the both modes. Something like a one perfect radio could do everything. So this beam is going to be okay, but because you guys have to understand, I wanted to have this guy 40 feet in the air because it's the weight of factor I'm more worried about. This is why I went for the big boys, because I can get out of the valley with this thing to pump it out, so we can actually get to talk to those long distance stations I wanted to do, like Australia, New Zealand, and the Caribbean, and all over the world. And I hope it does what I want to do, because this is the idea I got from Jungle Joe UDX 791. That guy, if it wasn't for him, I would not be getting the quality beam right now because of him. I had to went because he had the 3 element. I went for the 4. As I always wanted to have a beam antenna since I was 14 to 15 years old. When my neighbors had one in his yard, and he used to pump his amplifier up. I never met the guy. I talked to the guy on the radio. When a neighbor passed away down the street, and they knew him, they thought he was like this bad, evil person in the neighborhood, which he was not. So my dad did all that calling stuff. It's a long story, but and he had to tell him to turn his amplifier down when people were listening to their TVs and stuff. But this was a guy I had a CBer next door in my house in Hollywood, Florida. You did not know that. And there's actually been proven. One of my dad's best friends bought the house in Hollywood, Florida a long time ago, which he still lives there to this day, since 1998. And he came to visit my dad in 2021 when I was catching the Cobra that year. I first came here, and he talked to him for a while. He knew I was in CBs all the time, but this guy, he was one of my dad's best friends and knew him since the 70s. and he knew about my mother and all that. But he was been married since like that. But he's a Nicaraguan type guy. But he did all the green card stuff. He moved to the United States and all that stuff because his family moved over here to Kendall, Florida. And that's what I'm saying. And in Homestead, Florida, he met my dad a long time ago. And these were like they went to Boy Scout together with my father's dad. And he's one of the guys. And most of his wife is born from Tennessee, and married him ever since the late '80s, mid '80s. But they came to my house when it happened because he's the only guy that cares about my father in the world. That he hasn't talked to a lot, but he's the only guy that came visit to see my dad, disabled vet. You guys know that. But he's the only guy that actually cares about him. Pretty worried about him sometimes he's away, but he's the only guy understands. He's pretty pissed off about my dad's other family, his whole family, and he's pretty mad how they treated him back in 2021. I just want to know, but they knew I was in CBs a long time ago because they were CBers too. And he's a hammer operator. He used to be I think he was a hammer operator once, but he was in the CBs back in the 70s with my dad too. This guy was, but he's never came here since 2021. But he's pretty quite cool. But I'm not going to mention his name on YouTube here. But these guys were CB. He actually knew my dad had the CB radio. He knew all about the stuff, and probably knew about the blind date my mom met. But these guys, he's actually a childhood friend from a neighborhood he knew down the street. That's how my dad met him. In the same house in Homestead, Florida, I see my grandparents up. But yeah, he knew all about the CB stuff too. He knew I was in it too. They quite understand all that stuff. Yeah, he's pretty cool, but he ain't gonna do anything against everybody out there. He's an awesome guy, but he lives in Hollywood, Florida, still the area down there, way down there, my old house. And he knew about the pole, about my dad's design. I'd tell you guys about it. It's only been that long. And when he designed it, he pulled this out. He had a lot of concrete came out. It's pretty funny. He knew all about that. But he'd probably be quite amazed if he sees this beam out here, what I'm trying to do. I know this guy would probably help me out, but this guy knows a lot about CB radios quite good. And my dad had friends back then when he had CB radios when it was back in the heyday. I'm sure you guys had a lot of friends on the radio. I don't know his call sign, but he knew about the CB stuff very quite good. And when the day he came to April 2000, it was September 2021 when I caught the COVID. He saw all my radios, the ones before I bought the Quad 5. He was amazed at the Cobra 139 I had. And he saw the President Grant. He knew what they were. He was pretty amazed when I got the radio, the old school qualities. And he saw the ham radio thing I have, the Kenwood. He actually liked that. But this guy hasn't visited him ever since. But he's supposed to retire later on and come see my dad again in the future. I don't know when. But he actually goes to Kentucky once in a while. Goes to see his wife's family, but he's never done that. But it took him many years to find my dad, because my dad communicated him back in Utah land. It was like in 2019 when he got a hold of him. But yeah, he was a CBer. It would be quite cool. But we're not going to mention his name out here on YouTube, but I'm sure he'll come one day and see all the stuff I have. And maybe I don't know, maybe I'll find out some CB stories about my dad. It would be quite cool if I find out more. He might be able to know a lot about the stuff. And I can be able to tell you guys about it. I know. Because back then it's kind of different when you're back as a teen and when you're a child because you don't know much about the guy. But he visited my dad's house many times and he knew him very quite well. And he was in Boy Scouts together with my dad too. In the Florida Keys. But yeah, they had a lot of CB radios. I know about that. But yeah. But right now for Happy Thanksgiving, I'm going to wave you guys out there for Turkey Day. Let's hope we put on a good show this weekend. Man, I'm telling you, I hope this thing can get up this week. I wanted to get it up. And you guys will be able to hear me on the air. But it's going to take a lot of time to get all the coax connected. to strap all the zip ties and all that stuff. You guys, right now it's like 30 degrees out here in the cold, and I had to pick this up, this beam, this thing a while ago, and took it off that pole there. I had to line it up, and I had to try to grab it, make sure I looked at it. So I'm gonna let you guys go. This is UDX 362, East Tennessee, UDX 362, 79 screen Shockwave. And I'm shouting out to you 2112. I saw your radio a while ago on that post. Yeah, I didn't see all of it, but I know you got. But that's a good radio. Maybe we could talk on the free bands when we get some time, but or some other channels. But I'm glad you got your new radio. That's awesome. You're going to be able to get a hold of them quad fives very quite good. You're going to be able to hear me very good with that. But I'm glad you got your new radio. But make sure you get some adapters and microphones for that thing. Either way. So yeah, I'm talking about 2112 out there. I'm going to wave it out to you. But yeah, make sure you get one of those. Maybe you get one of those adapters, hook up some of your old school mics to it. Make sure you get the right wiring on it. So you might be able to do that, to check all that out. But I think that radio is going to do a little bit more than the other radios, but you're going to be good with it. But you'll figure out like I did, like how I got my Quad-Fi doing that. But let me know if it runs a Turner Plus 2 on one of those things. But I'm going to tell you guys, let's hope we get this thing up real soon. I know it's kind of cold out here right now because it's like moisture cold. But let's hope we can get this big guy up. I know it's going to be at 22 feet. My other Mako's only 21 feet. At least it's above the roof. At least it's going to be good because I looked at it. I raised it up the other day, yesterday, and brought this back down without the beam on it. But let's hope we can get this up and hope this thing does not bend. So that's the only thing I'm concerned about. So you guys have a great weekend. We'll catch you guys later. UDX 362 East Tennessee. So I had to explain some things out there on YouTube land. I'll catch you all later. This is 362, UDX 362, East Tennessee, 79 Smoke Screen. Have a great, happy Turkey Day. And we'll bring out some more videos soon.